welcome back to another episode of Bobcat Sports Weekly. This is our 9th episode. I am your host, Ethan Bishop, and I am also joined by my co-host and also a newly 2A golf state championship winner,
Nick Brown.
Yes, sir. And so obviously, you can see that we had a very successful week in golf, and we also had some other sports go on too. So let's get right into the news.
So, Bobcat Golf Team went out to the river course yesterday, which was Monday. We're recording this Tuesday. Went out Monday, got there at 7:30 in the morning. Supposed to tee off. Trevor's supposed to tee off at 9 to start out the Bobcats, but a couple of delays due to fog pushed it back till 10 as the first tee off, and we just started rolling from there. Trevor was 1 under through 9 holes. John was 1 over. Jack was 3 over, and I was 5 over through 9 holes. So we were kicking butt in the first 9. Second 9 got a little dicey, but Trevor Price finishing with a 75, John Woods with an 80, and Jack Davis 82, myself 88. Graham Menark also finished with a 98, and Gracie Blackwell with a 103. But we got it done. We got the first ever golf state championship for Radford High School, and I can't tell you how excited I am.
Yeah, this is insane, man. It's even just the trophy. Just looking at it right here. Obviously right now we can only see the back of it, but but it's just amazing to see that y'all really did pull through. And it was a very nice performance, man. Very emotional too. While I came for the post game ceremony, very emotional between Mr. Roberts and all of his players, man. Just a ton of hard work and finally paid off.
So it was just awesome that we could do it. A combined score of 325. That was our best at the river course this year by far. Coming in second was Virginia High with a 334. They played really well, and we knew that they were our competition coming in. They shot really well at regions, so we knew they were going to be our competition, but we pulled through. Trevor Price finished 4th overall with his 75, pretty darn well. And we had a little bit of a student section there at the end. That was pretty darn cool, actually.
Yeah, it was awesome. I got to go right after school, and I showed up and I watched a little bit of it. But not even to mention that, we had a lot of junior people there to support. A couple kids in my grade, and a whole lot of parents too. I'd say there was probably roughly about 30 Radford fans there. So I think that was awesome to see, and I think it definitely helped y'all out too to show that y'all had some support there.
Yeah, we definitely had a following, especially on Trevor Price's group. I was on actually hole number 3 when I heard a loud eruption of cheers because he was on number 5 and he had an incredible shot. So that was cool to hear the Radford fans actually cheering for Trevor, and it was just so cool watching all of the students come out and the parents obviously coming out to support. And we got it done. I'm so proud we were able to do it, and it's going to be special when we get to see that banner be raised for the first time.
You also had a pretty clutch performance too. I was watching you on the 17th hole. I was talking to your dad, and he was like, it's kind of up to Nick on these last 2 holes he said that also too. The 17th and the 18th were the 2 hardest ones on the course. But then you got a par on the 17th hole, which was huge.
So the coaches decided not to tell me that my score was going to matter. John, Jack, Trevor obviously doing well. Graham was a little iffy. Those nerves playing in the first state championship, it's hard. But they elected not to tell me that my score was going to matter, so they didn't want to put the pressure on me because I don't do so well when that happens, and so I don't blame them for that. And so they came out and they said, just keep doing what you're doing, Nick. Just keep grinding out. Just keep grinding. I was like, okay. So I knew something was up, but I didn't know what was going on. And then, I parred 17, and then I think that's when it really happened that we had the trophy in the bag after that hole. So I can't tell you how happy I am.
Yeah, and also a very nice act out of somebody that y'all saw at Sharky's when y'all went for a little party after, and somebody offered to take your bill for you. So Love to see that.
They were the VFW, the local VFW. I love those guys. Thank you for all the service. If anybody's watching this that you served in our military, thank you. It means a lot. But they came to Sharky's, noticed that we had a state championship trophy on the table, and they said we're really passionate about Radford sports, and they picked up the bill for us. So it was really special having that. So thank you to them. But again, thank you for their service, obviously, first and foremost. But man, first one of the year, we're gonna have a counter right here for the titles right above us. We'll have a state title counter throughout the year, and volleyball. They've got a chance. Football's got a chance. Cross country,
they've got a chance.
Basketball, obviously,
they've got a chance. Swimming, they've got a chance.
I mean, we could. This could be a really good year, but just looking at the trophy, it's still unreal for me right now.
I think it's definitely an awesome way to send it out for your last ever golf match that you'll ever play in. But brought out a state championship with it.
So thank you everybody for coming out, and I'm so glad that we could have done with all the support, and it's special, man.
Our football team stayed home this past week as James River came into our home field. It was neon night for the students, and it was a pretty dominating performance out of our guys. It was 42-13 was the final score, but 42 of our points were scored in the first half.
Yep.
So a very, very, very good game. So we had 28 in the first half. So or not first half, or first quarter.
Yeah. So second play of the game, defensive possession for us. They went out on an option play. Tyrell Dobson picked up the loose pitch and just picked it up and ran it 20 yards into the end zone for the first touchdown. Then, 2 minutes later, we scored again. But everybody just played well. Running game was obviously dominant as usual. If you want to go over the offensive stats for us.
Yep. So Zane Roop had a very good passing game, which is very nice to see. I mean, he's a very good runner, but also shows that he's got some very good passing abilities. 7 for 8 for 135 yards, and our total team stats, man, we had 200 rushing yards. Can't complain with that. And let's see, who are some of our Jarrell Baylor for 10 carries for 46 yards. Not a bad game for him. Zane Roop also seven carries for 81 yards. I mean, not bad at all.
And then DWB, Darius Wesley Brubeck, also finished low with 10 for 52 yards. He has pounded the rock. It was just straight up the middle, just pounding the rock. They just look so dominant on the offensive line, as usual, as expected also. And then on the receiving end, Jersey Johnson, 93 of the passing yards on 2 plays. Had a huge catch for about 50-plus yards. It was a monster catch down to the goal line, then punched it in the very next play. So he played really, really well. Alex Howard, his second touchdown of the game, his second touchdown in 2 games. So that's good to see him getting in there. And then Tyrell Dobbins, he had one heck of a game, man.
Yeah.
He was all over the place.
He was one heck of a player on defense. First he had that scoop and score. He was just all over the place.
He had over 10 tackles, and I was saying in the pregame show, I was up in the booth for this game, I was saying in the pregame show that our outside linebackers were looking really rough against Richlands, and they needed to step it up, and Tyrell made me eat my words, man, and I was so proud that he stood me corrected because he needed to play well, and he really bounced back from having not a rough game against Richlands. Obviously, Richlands is a good team, but he really had a great game, and he came out of the gate swinging.
Yeah, and I think it was also very good too. Obviously, last week we got beat by our first team against Richlands, which they're a very good team, but it's obviously a loss. But I think it's very nice to come out like this and win in that type of fashion. So I think it definitely gives our guys a lot more confidence now.
So the defense allowed only 73 yards the first half, and they gave up an 80-yard touchdown drive in the first half. So that means that there was -7 total yards besides that 80-yard touchdown drive. Very dominant. The last touchdown was scored on the second and third string defense.
Yep.
But 216 total yards given up. Not terrible. I mean, considering what happened in the first half. So Bobcats just another dominating win, and it's good to see him bounce back.
Yeah. So this week also our football team they stay at home again against Allegheny, and it's also a hoedown night for the students. So we hope to see a lot of Cowboys there, and let's go Bobcats.
Yep, country themed, and should be a fun one. Allegheny a little bit down again this year, but we'll see if the Bobcats can go 2-0, move to 6-1 total.
Yes, sir.
Volleyball had a hard-fought week. They played so hard. Unfortunately, it dropped the loss to Carroll County and Giles on Thursday. So Tuesday, the loss to Carroll County, Thursday on Giles. Both games went to 5 sets. Both were decided by 4 points or less in that 5th set. They played so hard. Carroll County, obviously 4A school, pretty darn good at volleyball, and Giles is becoming a powerhouse down there this year, looking very strong. So hard-fought losses, but, I mean, can't really complain. I mean, they were hyped-up games, and they played hard.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we took both games to 5 sets to Carroll and Giles. And Giles they're just very, very good. I don't know who it was
Number
on their
6.
team, but number 6 was absolutely insane. Their entire offense went through her. And so, I mean, can't really be too mad. I mean, only obviously taking them to 5 sets against Giles. I mean, Giles is a very good team, and we showed that we definitely can hold our own against them. We were up in sets at 2-1 at one point. So,
Yep. So we'll most likely cross paths in the playoffs, possibly districts and regions, as we are obviously the 2 best teams in the districts. Coming up versus James River at Thursday at James River, beat them in sets 3-1 last time. So hopefully we can get a little bit of bounce back. Only 1 game this week, rest up, and then gear up for the following week. So we'll see. They also played on Saturday in a big old tournament with tons of teams.
Yeah, so there was a ton of teams. I think it was in Patrick Henry, I want to say, is where their tournament was. And I don't know how many games exactly they played, but they came in 3rd. So, I mean, not too bad. I mean, and I think definitely the talent is there. I mean, they definitely show that. They just need to work on their communication a little bit. Like in the games like on both Tuesday and Thursday, they had like a couple of mess ups, like where they just weren't talking to each other. But I mean, obviously the talent's there, and they're all very, very faithful. Like they care about like the team, and they want to win.
Yeah. So don't quit on these girls. They are definitely not quitting on the Bobcats either on their school. And they know they're still very positive about the season because it's still successful so far. And as long as we can just turn it on in the playoffs, which I know they can, we can look really
we saw
good.
that last year from state championships. So.
I was talking to the Pocosin kid I was playing with in golf, actually. He said, y'all got a good volleyball team. I was actually at the state championship. We beat Pocosin last year in the state title game. And he said, yeah, y'all are a good team, and there's no reason why you guys shouldn't come back and win a 2nd in a row. That's true. So we'll see coming up. Hopefully they can just beat James River and move on to next week. But Saturday was a good boost of morale, especially can be against 4A, 5A, and some 3A schools also down there.
Yep, for sure. This has been our 9th installment of Bobcat Sports Weekly. Obviously, a pretty successful week, as you can see here. I want to congratulate you and the rest of the golf team. Obviously, pulling out, it's been first time in Mr. Roberts and first time in Radford here, too. And I think it's awesome to see that we finally have our first state championship of the year, and hopefully many more to come. I hope to see a lot of people at the football game this Friday. Obviously, that'd be awesome if we can get a lot of Cowboys at the football game. Volleyball, I think they have a game this Thursday, I want to say. And so good luck to them. Cross country, obviously, we wish the best of luck. And obviously a great week of sports for the Bobcats. So
we'll take it, man. I'm so happy.
Yep. So this is
the 9th episode. Wow, that's crazy, man. We're moving along here.
Yeah, pretty gnarly. So hope to see you all next week.
This has been Nick Brown,
Ethan Bishop,
and we're signing off. Go Bobcats.